Hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. I know I did. We had a little bit of a change in the garage here at home at Pro Monkey Industries, LLC, S Corp. That's bullshit. It's just my house. But we had a massive change that I'm really, really excited about. And it's going to change things, but it's not. So y'all know that this year I went ahead and pulled the trigger on a 2024 Street Glide. And that's exciting. We're having a good time on that. But you might notice that it's higher in the background. It should be here. We got a lift. It's a big deal. So we didn't get a lift. Mrs. Monkey purchased this for me as a surprise. And on Christmas morning, I opened a lot of great gifts. I was really excited. If you're like me, you're like every other dad out there, you don't care. You know, you just want your wife and your children to have a wonderful Christmas morning. Give me some socks, yay, whatever, and that's it. You know, we're all like that. And we had a great day. She'd given me some tools that I was going to use at the rig, like another mechanic set that was going to live there. Really exciting. I was like, this is a great freaking Christmas. She said, oh, by the way, there's one more present, but there was a delay in freight. The word freight scares me. The last time I dealt with freight, there's a dog. As I was saying before I was interrupted by the 19 people with 37 dogs that are going for a walk right now. Anyway, she said there's a delay in freight. And the last time I dealt with the word freight at my house is when the chopper frame was being delivered. That one shipment had the frame, the wheels, a tank that we're not using, a fender that we're not using. Anyway, it was a bunch of parts and they were all on a pallet that had to come via Old Dominion. And this also had to come via freight because it weighs almost as much as two of me. It's really, really heavy. This is a Handy S.A.M 1200. Now, the reason why you didn't see the logo is because if you get one of these, and this is the whole point of this video, you should. They're great if you have the room. I really don't. I'm just making it work so far. I'm using it as bike storage. That's how it's kind of using up the space. And a lot of you said do that, but I need to be able to move stuff around. I digress. These lifts don't just come the way you need them. A Handy's a professional grade lift. The dealers use them and stuff. But like loading and unloading, and all, I'll just show you what it is. Now, right now, you're going, oh, but it has side steps. I mean, like, why is that a problem? I had to make those. Doesn't come with those. So the actual lift itself is just about the width of a bike, not much more, okay? So that means when you're loading on a Handy especially, the lift, when all the way down, is about 6-7 inches off the ground. So you're dancing, there's no ground. You know what I mean? There's no place to put your feet. So loading and unloading, a lot of dudes just run them on. Well, as you can see, my driveway goes downward, and I only have from about right there. And running it on wasn't working. It was like, I was getting like, you know, and it was taking me and the wife to get it on. I was like, that doesn't work. Side note, these don't come with a vise. You have to buy that separately. So I like this lift. Don't get me wrong. It's the one that I want. I'm really glad she chose this one. It's pretty much the best that you can buy. Some of you might say Black Widow or this, that, and the other, but Handy's like, Amsoil Adam uses these, all right, when he changes oil at rallies. That's how good it is. But it's an investment. Like these suckers, I'm not going to get into the price because that's vulgar, but they're the price of an old Sportster, right? Before you get the vise, which is another few $100, which she had to do. Then you get it and realize, oh, well, it doesn't come with any tie downs. I don't know why a lift of this price point can't just come with some eye hooks in the box. Like nothing. It came with nothing. Had to go add these. So I had to go grab these at Tractor Supply, I think it was, and buy some hardware. I had to drill a hole to make it just right on the other side. I mean, really, like, it should come with tie downs. Come on, man. It should come with straps at that price. It's, you know, like, had to go buy all this stuff. And then what I did for these, in case you're wondering, these are Harbor Freight 1,000-pound loading ramps, okay, that the Handy lift has these holes. There's a couple of them. There's one there. There's one here. And then there's, you know, one here. So what I did was got some 1-inch OD pipe, about 18-inch sections, and then used a hole saw to drill a hole in the side of the ramp, drove them through, and then welded them on this end and this end on the inside. So that's what that is, the little weld mark there. So these are welded in, and then I had to route out this hole a little bit. For some reason, this hole's not quite as big as those, but whatever. Route it out just a little bit and slip them in. Then I use C-clamps to sort of secure it, just for safety's sake. Still a little flexy, you know. Not enough to make your butt pucker or anything. It will, in fact, hold your weight, no problem. It's just going to be flexy. Now, the way to fix that, I haven't done it yet, is remember, you're only using these when they're on the ground. You're never like up here on it. You know, like this is when it's all the way down. You just need something to put your feet. Like a piece of 4x4 post cut, you know, the distance from the floor to here, slip it up under there. That would make it just be stable as hell. I'll do that eventually, but there you go. Now, some comments. Some of y'all that follow us on the Insta faces and all that stuff have already said, like, look, I don't know where to put my arm. I thought you were going to do garage yoga. Like they almost expressed some dissatisfaction. Garage yoga ain't going to end. It can't end. We got all those bastards. Moving these things around is not that easy. Getting this thing off the lift, it's not a 30-second flip them about thing. Like, you know, I gotta raise the lift to drop the lock to put it down to put the ramp on to back the bike out, then take another one, put it on. You know, like it's a whole ordeal. So there will still be a whole lot of crawling around on the ground. This is just for the big stuff. Major detailing, that's a thing. I've just been sitting here because last night I put these new badges. These are off of a 23 or 24, I can't remember, the Tobacco Fade Burst. They call it the Rock and Roll Edition. Everyone does. I found these on eBay, ordered them and stuck them on. So just having it like straight on eye level, that was a big deal. And then you look down and go, well, that's dirty, and that's real dirty. And why is this brand new bike's got not even 1,000 miles on it? Anyway, so detailing is a whole other thing. Look, you can clean that. How often have you cleaned a crossover pipe without laying on the ground? That's freaking awesome. So yeah, this is for big jobs. You know, this is going to be for the cam. Yep, that's easier, isn't it? I mean, you know, I'm standing. I got to move it over a little bit because it's a little up against the wall. But yeah, there you go. Can you imagine doing a cam? And these come off in just a matter of a few seconds. And then I'm standing, you know, this close. So look at this. I mean, I'm take the floorboard off. I'm already thinking about how easy this is going to be. Take the floorboard off. Cross pipe. Oh, look, head pipe. Nah, so easy. Oh, look, that hard to reach flange nut. No problem, right there. You know, like just, the only thing you can't do on a lift is you can't turn the wheel to get a little better access here and there, you know? So that's a thing. But just, I mean, this is insane. And there's one other thing I thought of that's still easier with a jack. I have over there, brand new, when I bought this bike, I ordered the wheels, the actual Harley-Davidson chrome wheels. And they're 19-inch split spoke. It was a whim. they look awesome. I'm really excited, but it is still going to be a lot of work. That wheel swap is probably, believe it or not, still going to be easier on a jack, you know, on the floor than it is on this lift. Because the front wheel, I mean, it can be done. Don't get me wrong. I got my scissor jack, flip it around, lift the whole thing up. On the floor, you would do this. Lift the whole thing up on the lift itself, strap it down to where you've got, you know, some clearance so it's not in the vise, right? Then lift the whole thing, take the axle out, take the brakes off, you know, calipers off, and I guess bring her out of that way. But I kind of wonder if it wouldn't be easier just on a jack, just drop that sucker out from underneath. I mean, I could just take it to the dealer and have them do it, but the labor of just the mounting and dismounting of the wheels is going to be a few $100, so why not just do it myself? This one, that brings me to a point, does have the drop-away plate. So what that means, it makes it real easy to get the back wheel out. Or does it? I guess it kind of does. Because, you know, you jack the bike up a little bit, strap it down real good in the front, jack the rear up a little bit, drop the plate away, drop the wheel out. When I do the cam, prime example, jack the bike up to where the tire's off the ground, drop the plate away, and that way you can use the wheel to turn the motor over when you're doing the cam job. So a totally different deal there. But again, that two-wheel swap, or even front wheels in general, might still be easier on a jack. So I'd be curious what your thoughts are on that, if you think I'm nuts, but I do think it might be easier. Just pop it up on my, I don't know about that V-bore, it's a little questionable. And then, you know, get at it. But looking at your bike from this angle, it's insane. So, yes, she's the best wife. She actually said, I knew how badly you needed this. I knew this was a thing we needed to do, and I knew you're so damn hard-headed you wouldn't do it. Not only because I'm cheap and these are really expensive, but because I always said, I don't have room for that, But she knew if she just bought it, and it was like, yeah, it's here in 2 days. By the way, it showed up on the 27th. So on Christmas Day, when she told me, like, it's done. It's showing up on the 27th. That's it. You know, you're going to have to figure it out. I was like, oh, crap. So on the 26th, we spent all day. We had already cleaned the garage, but reorganizing the garage so that I have tons of room around it all the way. Again, still got to move it that way a little bit, not the bike's on it. You got room over there, but like I was showing you the cam chest, it's a little, you know, so move it over a little bit. They make, oh, by the way, the side step thing. They sell these, Handy does. I think they come in 2 sections, and I think they use these, and they also sell a ratcheting tie down that I think attaches to here. They also sell their own scissor jack. But again, I'm not knocking Handy. It's all American made. It's Cadillac stuff, but it's very expensive. So their scissor jack, this is I think $80, $90. This is one of the better ones you buy on Amazon. And I think this was like $80, $90. Their scissor jack is $425. Yeah, that's how much theirs is. Their ratcheting system is like, I think, $600 or $700. Their side steps, which actually, in their defense, they're not just side steps. Theirs are actually load bearings. You can put like a quad or a side-by-side. I mean, they're actually for tires to sit on. These are not. These, if you put a vehicle on these, you're a freaking idiot. The way I did it, I mean. The ones that they sell, they're $700, and again, they have to come via freight. I don't know why you can't UPS those, because they're in 4 pieces, but whatever. They have to come via freight, and then you've got it to where you can put a side-by-side or whatever on this thing. But pricey, man. Like, it's everything's expensive. I'm trying to think if there's any other accessories that, I'm sure there are, but it's all the money to go with a Handy lift. Why didn't I get a Harbor Freight? That's a whole topic, isn't it? Because a whole lot of people in the YouTube world have those Harbor Freight lifts. Honestly, I wouldn't put something I love on one of them things. You know, like I've seen them in action, and they're and no, too much movement. I don't like that. That is it 1,000 or 1,500 pound lift? It doesn't matter. I like Harbor Freight stuff. I'm not knocking Harbor Freight, and I'm sure it's fine for a chopper. I'm sure it's fine for if you're an XS person that makes those XS 650 choppers, or even the Beautiful Loser, all that. That would go on that fine. But this sumbitch weighs damn near 1,000 pounds. I'm not putting a 1,000-pound motorcycle on one of them Harbor Freight jobs that does this when it's up there. I'm not knocking you if you did it. God love you. Go to town. No. You know, not for this. You know, little guy, Sportster, Dynas, Softails. You know, these. When you're going the full half ton, I don't want to put one of them on Harbor Freight. So Black Widow or Handy or one of those things. But my biggest buying advice on one of these, think about that sidestep situation, because I hadn't even thought of that. Like loading and unloading a bike on one of these guys is a thing. Now, you know, pro bike mechanics are used to it. They just run them up there all the time. But if you're a shade tree mechanic like I am and you're just hanging out in your garage, I want to be able to ride it up on the lift. It's just way easier, and you're going to have a sidestep to do that, or be 7'8". Like if you're pushing 8 feet tall, you'll be fine. You'll be told you just put your feet down. But if you're a 5'11 and a half because God didn't love me enough to give you that last half inch like I am, you're going to need to figure out a sidestep situation or run it up. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I'm getting rickety. That's where I didn't want to do that. So there's my buying advice on a lift. Ask me any questions. I will monitor this video even more than I normally do, and I will respond to questions that make sense. Some of y'all needed to go to school longer. I'm just saying. So any reasonable questions, I'll make sure I answer all that stuff. I love you all to death, man. I mean, I would have never done this if it hadn't been for this channel and all you watching, and I'm really excited to do a little more complex stuff. I'm excited to put the chop up on here after we do the cam on New Year's Day, or maybe if I'm going to go on a ride on New Year's Day. I'm sure I always do. It's a ritual, but sometime this week, I'm going to go knock out that last 200 miles. I think I'm going to run to Fort Myers and back, go grab lunch over there or something, just so that odometer says 1,000 before I tear into the cam chest. Then we'll do bars later and all that stuff. Nobody makes bars I want. I keep getting that question. Why didn't you do the bars and do the interfering? Well, because everything I'm seeing at max is like 14s, and I want at least 16s. And I haven't seen that out there yet. Normally, Paul does my bars because I hate doing bars. Anyway. That's why he did those 18-inch bastards. I just haven't seen some 16s out there yet. That's really what I want. So I'm waiting probably till Daytona for that. Anyway, so we're going to do the cam chest, and we'll give it a good service at that time because it'll be due. And we'll see how that goes. So after that, the chop goes on, and the chopper is my Evo Psychopath over there that I built for smokeout. It's already had a little bit of a over glow up, whatever you want to call it, since then. Those dual tanks are mounted, so got to plumb them, got to move the ignition, got to take the rear fender off that doesn't match anymore, and probably line it up a little better. It's a little recut those spacers, relay all that out. I'm thinking about putting a vintage style tire on it in the back just to change it up a little bit. Then that fender has to go to powder coat. then she'll go back together. All this in theory in time for Daytona, which doesn't seem that far away. Daytona starts February 28th this year. Actually, the last day of February. So I have, thankfully, no work travel in January. In February, I go to Africa. I go to Miami for a few days, then Africa. Then I come home. Then I got to go to Texas for a thing for a few days. And then the day I come home from Texas, I got to roll to Daytona. So I have to load whatever's going to Daytona with me, has to be loaded before I go to Texas. So I don't have that much time. I got like 6 weeks. So anyway, again, none of this stuff would be possible without y'all. And the channel members, you make it to where I can afford to buy flapper discs and cutoff discs and all that silly crap that I keep on shelves now, like it's a real shop or something. So to Nick, and I'm not going to start saying names because there's just too many, but all of you, I love y'all to death, man. This kind of stuff because of you. Take care of each other. We'll talk real soon. Bye.